Hello, I'm René Bonvanie, Chief Marketing Officer, and I'm here with Lee Claridge, our Chief Product Officer. We are here to announce the intent to acquire RedLock, a leader in cloud security, and in doing so, expanding our leadership in cloud security. Before I go into any content, I want to remind you that comments that we make in this presentation are of a forward-looking nature, and therefore I want you to take a little bit of time reading this forward-looking statement. Now, what are we announcing here today, and what are the characteristics of RedLock? RedLock is a company that is leading in public cloud security analytics. And today we announced the intent to acquire RedLock. RedLock was founded in 2015 by industry experts coming from companies such as CypherCloud and Palo Alto Networks. And Varun and Gaurav will join the team at Palo Alto Networks. Today, they protect well over 20 million cloud resources across well over 50 enterprise customers. RedLock was backed by high-profile investors such as Dell Technologies Capital and Sierra Ventures, has about 75 employees, and is headquartered in Menlo Park, California. Now, there is a specific place where the RedLock technology will go in our platform, which is in the protection of applications, of data, of users and infrastructure in the cloud. And to give you a bit more insight into what exactly the role is going to be and what the problems are that we are addressing by this acquisition, I want to have Lee go into the challenges that people run into when they move workloads and applications and users into the cloud.
Great, thanks René. You know, one of the great things about public cloud is that it is a very dynamic environment. It's very easy to consume resources, turn up applications, but also is what poses a lot of the challenges. And so in this much more sort of decentralized public cloud environment, how do you maintain visibility into just what you even have? How do you manage the complexity of compliance, both regulatory as well as security compliance, when you have applications constantly changing and moving around? How do you detect and respond very quickly to any threats that are detected? And then very importantly, in this sort of multi-cloud world, how do you make sure you can do that consistently and easily across every cloud environment you have?
These problems are non-trivial, and therefore by bringing Evident, an acquisition we made in March of 2018, together with RedLock, the acquisition we announced today, makes us the leader in cloud security, because in doing so, not only do we have leadership in the compliance that Lee mentioned, but also very much in the cloud security analytics that you need to then operationalize the security elements of your cloud security strategy. Now, as a reminder, Evident, the leader in cloud compliance, brought us significant capabilities when it came to real-time compliance monitoring and reporting, and kept our customers in control of their compliance when it came to regulatory and industry coverage. And in automating the policy enforcement around compliance, we made a significant investment in making sure that our customers could effectively move into the public cloud and stay compliant with both their own compliance rules as well as the industry. Now, RedLock brings new capabilities to this ultimately combined offering by focusing on all cloud resources and applications, discovering them, classifying them in separate risk and security buckets, and then making sure that in those diverse and risky configurations, we can look for network threats, suspicious user behavior, vulnerabilities, or any compromise that has occurred. And therefore allowing security operators and folks in security to prioritize risk, but also investigate incidents and remediate threats, many of which we can do automatically. Now, to show you a bit more of what that looks like, Lee, why don't you kind of go through what people have to deal with when they secure their infrastructure in the cloud?
Yeah, let me give you just a couple of examples of some very common kinds of security challenges we see. You know, one that just happens all the time, unfortunately, is, you know, developers are working quickly, they accidentally leave some keys in some code, upload the code into GitHub. Hackers are constantly scanning locations like GitHub and other source code repositories for this kind of accident, basically. They grab these keys and they log into the cloud admin portals, and they basically use as a jumping off point for trying to find data, leverage compute, maybe run their crypto miners in someone else's infrastructure, et cetera. And RedLock is very good at being able to detect this kind of anomalous behavior, very quickly flagging it, and then either enabling the SOC teams to respond to it quickly or even automatically responding to it when you see this kind of behavior. Another example that often happens is a developer goes into their public cloud provider or providers, they quickly spin up a new service. They might just be trying something out, they might be needing to expand some capacity, whatever it is, but they, in the process, they don't follow all of the necessary steps to secure that environment, that application, that security group, and they leave it open. And when that happens, of course, attackers are highly automated these days, and so they're constantly scanning for this kind of accident, again, in order to be able to log in remotely, access the workload of the application, the account, maybe move laterally within the environment, or just take it over and start using it for their own purposes. And so once again, RedLock has shown a great ability to be able to detect when this happens, and then again, either manually or, in many cases, automatically change settings in order to remediate the risk. So this is all, as we think about this is all part of our view of how to properly secure public cloud. And we've talked about this before, but there's multiple elements to how we secure public cloud applications. Part of this comes down to inline security enforcement, which is how do you scan traffic coming into your public cloud app as well as leaving your public cloud application, both for control purposes but also security purposes. Second, how do you secure the host that your application is running on? This is very important. There are certain kinds of threats that this is specifically targeted toward, that's uniquely capable of doing, which we do with traps. And then third is all of the different services that expose APIs that allow us to capture data, understand settings, understand configuration, things like that. And that's really where the combination of RedLock and Evident really play a very strong role in how we secure these environments. And very importantly, I mentioned this, or you mentioned this actually, Renee, doing this across a multi-cloud environment. It is a multi-cloud world. Most enterprises we talk to have multi-cloud strategies, and so being able to deploy both inline security, the API-based security, host security across all three of the major cloud providers is very important to having that consistency everywhere the application is deployed. Now, everything we're talking about today is available in the Evident and the RedLock services as they stand today. And as we look forward, we'll also be looking at how we can bring this expanding set of cloud data into the application framework in order to enable more and more applications to run against it. Things like Magnifier for behavior analytics and XDR and third-party applications. And so not only do we see a very important near-term benefit of leveraging these products and offerings, but we also see a great longer-term benefit as a new data source to augment all the other data we have to build better and better applications on top of it.
So Lee, I think with that, it is very clear that going back to the challenges you laid out a few minutes ago, the combination of Evident and RedLock are actively addressing those challenges in the multi-cloud environment that we believe is going to be the new normal when it comes to deploying cloud workloads and applications. So very importantly, the key characteristics then of that combined offering is that it will speed those deployments without sacrificing the security. It will continuously validate compliance and then also rapidly detect and automatically respond to the threats specific to those environments in multi-cloud environments. And we are very, very excited about that capability. And we're very excited, of course, for our customers to be able to run their workloads and their applications in the cloud in the most secure way in the industry. So with that, we will keep you informed about the future developments that you can see from Palo Alto Networks, specific when it comes to cloud. And you can understand that by this acquisition and by the strategy that we deploy here, that cloud continues to be a critical component of our strategy. And we show you very high commitment to the outcomes for our customers in their move to the cloud. Thank you very much. And thank you, Lee.
Thank you.